Well, hello, good people and Eagle fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Taco Tuesday, and I hope all your taco dreams come true. So we have, I'm old enough to remember when people were laughing about George Pickens, that they said literally that when the Steelers called teams that they got laughed at about trading George Pickens. Y'all remember that, right? You remember that? I remember it. I'm old enough to remember that. It was literally 6 weeks ago. Here, listen to this one. This was Colin Cowturd who was saying this. Listen.
Finally, you got to bless Dallas Cowboy fans' heart. They're so excited for George Pickens. And I was saying this today. When Kyle Shanahan said, I can't make Trey Lance work. I made Matt Schaub a Pro Bowler. Brock Purdy, I got him to a Super Bowl. Garoppolo, I got to a Super Bowl. I can't make Trey Lance work. And the Cowboys were like, ooh, yeah. Here's a fourth-round pick. Okay, when Warren Buffett says, be careful with Bitcoin, I'm careful with Bitcoin. When Mike Tomlin says about a receiver, listen, I can't make it work. Chase Claypool, AB, Martavius Bryant. I mean,
Deontay
the
Johnson.
list goes on. Deontay Johnson. If Mike Tomlin, who is two things, great motivator and incredibly patient with immature players, when Mike says, yeah, guys, I'm out. But Jerry, this is a personality trait. Jerry loves to save. He loves to give people jobs that need him. Chan Gailey, Mike McCarthy, Jason Garrett, Brian Schottenheimer. They feel like Jerry is saving it. He's giving a job that's not available. McCarthy couldn't get interviews. Parcells and Jimmy Johnson didn't need him. That wore Jimmy out. Dak Prescott, fourth round. He loves, Tony Romo, undrafted. Cowboys never draft quarterbacks in the first round. They don't need Jerry. So when he goes and gets George Pickens, who the reputation is out. Basically, Tomlin, I'm out. Jerry's like, I'm here. I'll make it work. I think this is Jerry's wildcatting oil days, where he would hunt for gems. And I think that is literally his mindset with coaches and sometimes draft picks and players, is that he feels like Pickens, he's the rest of the league is out. I am in. And I don't think long term. I think that's why the Cowboys
Mr.
are where the Cowboys are currently in the NFL.
I think that George Pickens is one of the more overrated players in the whole league. And the reason I feel that way is because I think certain football fans, this is one of my favorite and kind of relatively newest take, which is talent has become wildly overrated. And particularly in the NFL. Obviously, you need a requisite level of talent. That goes without saying. However, this idea that talent is some cure-all, when this guy has been a pain in the ass every step of his football life. It is why he fell in the draft. It is why you were hearing rumors about him being available during his second year, during his third year. He was traded here. When you are potentially trying to get a contract in the offseason and your team is in the middle of a losing streak and you show up to the Christmas Day game against the Kansas City Chiefs 90 minutes before kickoff. You show up 3 hours before your TV show, Colin. You have 220 of them a year. He's got 17 football games. And you're just not a serious person. And you're not going to contribute to winning the way your talent says you.
So that was 1 month ago on the Colin Cowherd podcast. Things have changed. At least perception has changed in that time. How does the rest of the league view this move? Now, see, we've had OTAs, we've had minicamp, and we've had some time. We've had about 6 weeks of George Pickens being here with the Cowboys. One AFC executive, I wish they would put names to this. I wish people would stamp and say their name to it. Well, now we know after ESPN asked several NFL decision makers, executive coaches, to discuss some of the biggest offseason moves. Here's what an AFC personnel man had to say about the Pickens acquisition. He's a big piece there. When he's covered, he's really open. I know the concerns are there, but I think he's already established a passing game with veterans to help him along. And in fact, he's in a contract year. Will help keep him in line. If you can tap into what he can do fully, his major ability will shine through. So some people are saying this might end up being the biggest offseason move of the season. Whereas when it first happened, in the same way they were talking about Brian Schottenheimer. First, when Brian Schottenheimer was hired, they literally said, this idiot just fell off the salad truck. And the Cowboys have made him their head coach without interviewing any of the hot candidates. And it seems like that perception has changed. George Pickens, oh man, he doesn't show up on time. He showed up 90 minutes before a game against Kansas City. He's a locker room cancer. He's a hothead. He's, as they just put it, he's a problem every step of the way. That's what he said. That's what they're calling it, right? Seems like the Cowboys, some people think maybe the Cowboys did something right for once. And if it does work out, Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys may benefit because we're going to need to score some points. We're going to need to score quite a few points early and often to help our defense out. And George Pickens, I believe, is going to be the guy. And it's funny because I for a second there, I saw a video, and I know why the title was what it was, that George Pickens already pissed at Dak Prescott. That is one of the famous Dallas Cowboys Dak Prescott hater YouTube channels. Yeah, it is what it is. Alrighty, good people, as always, I appreciate you all, and I will see you soon.